Well, let's head to Qatar now and join our senior reporter Melissa Reddy and chief reporter Kaveh Solhekol, have both been following this story very closely. Good evening, both. Kaveh, let me start with you. Talk us through Ronaldo's side.
Look, I think as far as Cristiano Ronaldo is concerned, when he returned to Manchester United 18 months ago, he was thinking with his heart and not his head. He had other offers. He says that Manchester City wanted to sign him as well. Sir Alex Ferguson apparently called him up and told him, you cannot go to City, you've got to go to United. And he had a change of heart and he decided to go back to United. It was the romantic option. He was going back to the club he loved. And from his point of view, he did everything he could last season. He scored lots of goals. He was the top goal scorer at United. He was the player of the season as well. He feels there's not anything more he could have given to Manchester United. He worked under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, who he wasn't too impressed with, and then Erik ten Hag came in this summer. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo told United he wanted to leave this summer. He wasn't happy. He didn't get that move. So he felt in the past couple of weeks that there was only one thing he could do, which is to be honest, which is to speak to somebody he knows well, Piers Morgan, and tell the world his story from his point of view. And he wanted to leave Manchester United because ultimately he feels that he's the best player in the world. He probably thinks he's the best player in the world ever, and he doesn't want to be playing in the Europa League. He feels Manchester United are a club in transition. Ultimately, he feels at the moment that he deserves better than Manchester United, and through doing this interview with Piers Morgan, he's got his own way. His statement says he loves United, he loves the fans, despite what he said in that interview to Piers Morgan at times. So I think if you're looking at this from Cristiano Ronaldo's point of view, you have to say it's worked out perfectly for him. The World Cup is about to start. He's going to play for Portugal. He's a free agent. He's in the shop window. He can show the world that he still is a great player, and he can get the move that he wants, preferably to a Champions League club.
Melissa, do you have anything to add to that? Do you disagree with anything Kaveh said?
Well, from Manchester United's perspective, they feel that they're getting rid of a problem, not really a goal scorer, in essence, even though he performed for them last season, but somebody who's contrary to the culture they're trying to set, who wants things to go his way, everything to still funnel through him, whether that's their style of play or the discipline around the club. He still wants to be the main man, and they do not have space for that. Erik ten Hag is trying to build a collective, and United are on the right path. You know, all those claims Ronaldo made about them being stuck in the past, I think for a long time that's definitely been the case, but they've spent so much on overhauling their scouting processes. There's been a wide restructure at the club, investment into analytics, and they've really tried to do better, to become a modern version of a club and to catch up with Manchester City and Liverpool, who they feel are the benchmark and the clubs they should be competing with, not just on the pitch but off the pitch structurally. Now, United wanted a quick and clean exit without a payout. I'm told there wasn't a payout, so they're saving about £16 million by letting him go with this termination. They had very strong grounds to sue him for breach of contract, for bringing the club into disrepute, for damaging statements. And so while Cristiano Ronaldo has got his way from doing that interview, he's actually saved them as well, because United don't need to keep him until the end of the season, don't need to go through this massive legal wrangle. And also, it's a sense that they can now move forward without distraction. He's no longer there causing any animosity between the scenes, or actually as well, United have tried to be dignified because they wanted this resolved before Portugal kicked off their World Cup campaign properly. Diego Dallo and Bruno Fernandes, obviously it affects them, this whole situation, and United wanted to do right by them as well.
I think from Cristiano Ronaldo's point of view, you're talking about United are a club in transition. He doesn't have time for a club in transition. He's 37. I think he probably privately thinks I've wasted 18 months of my career. Would you see Lionel Messi playing in the Europa League? Why should I be playing in the Europa League? Why should I be slumming it in 6th, 7th, 8th place in the Premier League? Why should I be sitting on the bench? Would somebody ask Lionel Messi to come on for the last 3 minutes against Tottenham at Old Trafford? I deserve better. I totally agree with you. From a team spirit point of view, from a behaviour point of view, from what is expected of a Manchester United player, I think frequently he has stepped out of line. He's challenged Erik ten Hag's authority, but Manchester United knew what they were getting when they signed him. They were getting an absolute superstar. A lot of people in the world think he's the greatest player ever. He's better than Pele, Maradona, Messi. People argue about it non-stop. He thinks it himself. So I think Manchester United, once they didn't get in the Champions League, they should have just let him go. Instead of asking him to take a 25% pay cut and, for a variety of reasons, him not getting the move that he wanted.
I know this is asked with hindsight, but in view of what you said, Melissa, about no payout, would it not have been far better for both sides to have done this in the summer?
Well, here is where we are with that. In the summer, Cristiano Ronaldo at the start of June was telling United, I'm really happy to be here. You can go and look up the interview. He said it. No one forced him to give that interview. I believe we can win trophies under Erik ten Hag. I'm really excited by this new era. And then suddenly they were hearing from the media that his camp was canvassing European clubs, that he wanted Champions League football. There was no conversation with United at any stage to say, hang on, I actually do feel this is beneath me. Time is running out. I do want to extend my legacy in Europe's top competition. And I think if he had done that then, and I said the other day, a high-ranking source said, if there was a conversation between both parties, and he said, listen, this is not working out. It's better for the transition period you guys are under, for the manager to come in and set his entire new culture, environment. It's better for me if I try and find a Champions League exit. It could have been handled in a much more mature, nice way that would have protected his legacy and also would have saved the club all these months of turmoil. We have to remember, United's best moments have been overshadowed by him. You had that complete performance against Tottenham. He refuses to come on. He storms off. You had that Garnacho late winner. He gives the interview. It comes out. He is always the story, which is counterproductive to Ten Hag and what he's trying to do. So I think they would have liked to have done it in the summer if there was an option. Also, we were told, and you say he's 37, he doesn't have time to waste, he doesn't want to be coming on for 3 minutes. Which top club is actually going to be starting Ronaldo every game? Who is he going to be guaranteed a place in the first 11 for? We saw in the summer, the only offer that came in from him was from Saudi Arabia. United were prepared to accept that and he didn't want to go. So perhaps as a free agent, if he puts on a really, solid performance at the World Cup, people will forget his disruptive behavior and he might get a move, but I can't see who and where.
Well, look, one thing he was talking about in that interview with Piers Morgan asked him a really good question. He said, could you see the possibility of you moving to PSG and playing with Lionel Messi and Neymar if PSG were to sell Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid? And I think Cristiano Ronaldo said something along the lines of, anything's possible in football. Imagine how many shirts they would sell if I was playing for PSG with Lionel Messi. My understanding of the situation as things stand is PSG have absolutely no interest in signing Cristiano Ronaldo. You mentioned his age, the fact that they've already got Mbappe, the fact they've got Messi, the fact they've got Neymar as well, and also financial.
Said they don't want to go down the Galacticos
exactly,
route anymore, yeah.
And the financial fair play considerations. But I still think we've talked a lot about Saudi Arabia. We know that offer was there, apparently worth £300 million. We know there's a possibility of MLS as well. But now that he's a free agent, I get a sense there will be some clubs in Europe who will be looking at him, especially clubs who have rich American owners, for instance, rich foreign owners, and thinking...
Are you suggesting Chelsea here?
I can't see that necessarily happening. I think the American owners would be interested. We know they were interested in the summer. But I think from Ronaldo's point of view, again, if he goes to Chelsea, he's not going to be playing regularly. Yeah. Okay, he's going to be in the Champions League, but he's going to have to accept being a team player as well. So I think he may have similar problems to the problems he had at Manchester United. But I just get the sense that he may get a move to a club in Europe, not the top tier move, not a Juventus or a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid. But I think there might be some clubs out there who want him.
That's what he thinks his stature still deserves, and to be regularly starting at that caliber of club. Perhaps the solution is for Ronaldo to accept. He is one of the greatest players we've ever seen, but he is 37, and that, progressive clubs that do have ambitions of winning the Champions League, aren't going to funnel everything through him. He can't be the main man.
We could talk about this all night. The final point I would make is this is one of those stories where everyone is happy. Manchester United are happy that this has been sorted out. Ronaldo's camp are happy that this has been sorted out quickly. He's a free agent now. And the vast majority of United fans, I think, are happy as well.
Kaveh, Melissa, we thought you were going to talk about it all night, but thank you very much indeed. That was really enlightening. No doubt more big stories tomorrow. It's been that kind of week.
Yeah.